And good afternoon, and welcome to yet another edition of Tech 20 Tuesday. It is the last Tuesday before March break, and I'm sure that teachers across the province are anxiously awaiting, and students, that week off. There will be no Tech 20 Tuesday next week. I will be sometime somewhere between St. Martin's and St. Kitts on a cruise ship, so I'll be enjoying a little bit of sun and warmth, and other people will be out on ski hills and other things. So no Tech 20 Tuesday next week. So this will be the last one until after the break. And today, I want to have a little bit of fun today. We're going to have a look at comic creators and comic strips. You know, kids are really into comics, and I never realized how much until we were doing a collaborative project with a school in Vietnam a couple of years ago. And what it was really interesting because this young boy, we did a collaborative project, and the whole collaboration was it was around French, but that the students had to share trinkets that represented their own cultures. And the Vietnamese students sent a box of these trinkets, and the Canadian students did the same thing. And they opened up in front of each other on a Skype call. And this young boy saw the comic book in that box, and he grabbed onto it. And even though he couldn't read the language because it was written in Vietnamese, he loved the artwork, and there was still a story even in it, even without the words that he couldn't understand. But what a tremendous learning experience that was for me, because I began to realize just the power of graphic novels for these students and for our generation. And when we look at the whole nature of information and how it's tremendously changing away from text-based literacies to literacies that are based in images and videos and music, that when we think about graphic novels and our kids their attraction to them, how we can draw them into using that as a literacy base and storytelling. So today we're going to take a look at a few different platforms for creating graphic novels or strips, comic strips, if you will. And you know, I think that we have to start small. I remember a couple of years ago we had a very interesting project that was done at Devon Middle School with it was an ILF project that was done with a school or a company that created novels, created comic books from Vancouver, and they actually sent an illustrator and a storyteller here a couple of times. And they worked with the kids and used software, and actually I think in the end they even may have even actually published the student comics. So there's real tremendous a platform here for kids to do some creation stuff. The first one I want to look at today is from an organization called Read, Write, Think. Now, they're a nonprofit organization, the International Reading Association, and they've got this web-based tool that allows students to create their own comics. So it's at Read, Write, Think, and if you just go to readwritethink.org, you'll be able to see the website where it starts. And as you come here, there's all kinds of different tools and all kinds of other different things here that may be of interest to you as well. But then they have this comic creator. And so it's, and when you start it up, you get this fun little thing. And so it's really easy. You just make the name of your cartoon. I think even before you start that, it's really important that you talk to your students about pre-planning. And this is something they could actually storyboard out. They could do this out on paper, and after exploring the tool a little bit, figure out what they wanted their story to be about. The neat thing about this, it doesn't have to be about their lives. It could be subject-related matter. They could be creating stories to tell what they know and to illustrate what they know about science, to share what they know about mathematics, to share what they know about history. So they could be creating all kinds of different comics right from K to 12 that would allow them to actually show you what they've learned. So in here it's really simple. What's the name of your cartoon? So we're just going to call this Journeys and to, and we're going to put in deference to our friend from Department of Education who's here today. Mary Jo McCrae is here. Mary's a skier, so she'll probably spend her days at Crab over the March break, waiting for the snow. So we'll have this. So we'll put in Mary Jo's Grand Adventure, and the author would be, and I'll just put my own name in here. So now what happens is that we can come in here and just simply click next. We can choose the different panels. So there's 1, 2, 3, or 6. I'm just going to choose 3 for now. Make it a little bit simpler. And here's where I can start to choose the different backgrounds. So we're just going to choose, and through here, there's one that looks a little bit like a ski hill. And in here, on my way is the caption. I'm going to choose somebody that more looks like me. That does not look like Mary Jo. So we'll come back here. We'll find an individual. There's Mary Jo. So we're going to put her out here. We can make it different features on her, and then we can pull out a balloon, and so we're going to put it here, and we're going to put, I can't wait to get to the hill. The powder will be wonderful. And then we go on to the next one, and then again, you're simply choosing characters. I'll put myself out here, and then it's got the hairline. Then we'll come in here. I hate snow. So you guys get the idea. And then, so when we finish up, and we'll put a third one in here. On the third one, we'll put this little guy, and his story is. This could be Brian. I've fallen and I can't get up. So here's the story about the trip. It could be about science. It could be about anything they're doing. Then they simply hit finish. Now the neat thing about this is that on the Mac and I think on the PC as well, now what you're going to do is you're going to print it. But as I print this, what it gives me is an option here to create it as a PDF. So I can save this as a PDF, and I can put in here Mary Jo's Adventure. I save it on my desktop and hit save. And now what I have out here on my desktop, there's my ship next week, but I have a document, Mary Jo's Adventure. It's a PDF document with the comic strip that I have created. So this is one way that we can use online comic creator, and of course this is for free, and so this is one way that we can use comics to start to tell kids learning stories, and I think that's really a very powerful way to engage them. The other one that I've run across and I haven't used with kids yet, but it's kind of intriguing, is that they're really into these power videos and all these the Superhero Squad show on TV. And the neat thing that is on their site is that you can actually create your own comic using the Superhero Squad. I can't even say it. The Superhero Squad show's cast of characters. And so they would come in here and just create a comic strip, producing a quick 1 to 3 panel strip, and they can come in here and create all kinds of comic strips, and they can also create their very own Marvel comic book. And again, These are all free tools that you can use. So if they created the comic book, it would load it up. It takes a minute, and probably want to have to do the comic book at least, you probably want to have a fairly robust computing device. But you can see here that it gives them a pretty neat diversity in terms of choices. We'll choose this one of the choices of what their layout on their page is going to look like. And so now they've got all these characters that come straight out of a comic book that they can then use, drag them out, drop them around, and start to tell the stories that the comic book creators would start to tell. So there's really a great opportunity in here for our kids to start to tell stories. I can move this to the front, maybe not. So but you can see here that you can really do some neat stuff here. There's also some backgrounds that you can choose, and from out of this graphic, so I can choose this background and bring it in and load it in behind. So you can create all kinds of neat stuff, and the kids here again can then save, embed, and print these comics that they have. The last one that I wanted to have a quick look at today is called bit strips. Now, bit strips, I lost the page here. Now, bit strips is probably the one that's probably the most common and the one that's got the best reviews in terms of use in a school setting. The unfortunate part, they do have a 30-day free trial. The unfortunate part is that they do have some a cost associated with their plans. But just looking at comic strips in the classroom, it actually builds these comics using different creators, different backgrounds. Again, the neat thing about this is that it's a whole lot easier to download and save your the created scenes that you have. So it's really about letting kids create, and as it says here, getting them hooked on that reading and writing. And you know, for me, it doesn't really matter what the platform is, and papers doesn't really speak to these kids, but if we can give them some kind of a way that they can engage in the writing process and engage with the world and share their content with the world. For me, I was at a school today working with some students on doing some stop motion animation videos, and this was a grade 4 student, and we were sitting there, and there was 3 of us there, 2 kids and myself, and we were working on some stop motion animation. They were playing around with it, and one of the kids said to me at the end of it, he said, or about halfway through, he turned to me and he said, "Can we put these on YouTube?" And you know, your first reaction is my first reaction at least is absolutely, you know, as long as it's done safely, and you know, everybody knows what's going on and your parents are okay with that and you're not identified in it. But for these students, audience is everything, and if we can find a way to have them create content that's fun and engaging, and if provide them an audience for their work, we will absolutely catch them in terms of things, educational outcomes, and getting them reading and writing, and getting them excited about being literate. So to me, that's the whole idea here, is to just engage kids. So those are 3 really quick tools. I did come across another one today that I don't know much about, but it looks like, and I was going to share it with you, it's called comicstripcreator.org. I'll put all these links, by the way, I'll put them to all these on the wiki space, on the Tech20Tuesday wiki space, so you don't have to worry about copying down the URLs or anything. This one here looks like it's a free download. I went to download it. You have to create a free account, it looks like, but it looks like it's a download to create and share comic strips. I don't know anything about it, and I'm still looking. I don't know if it works on a Mac platform. I haven't even got as far as starting to download it yet. But it's a non-commercial electronic community hosted by Itastart. So it's a free software that you download to your computer rather than doing it on the web. So it's kind of the old model of a machine-based software. But it might be another one to have a look at if you're interested in. I'm going to do some more exploring, and I'll put a link to it up on the wiki space. So if you have any questions today, you can either open your mic and have a chat and we can explore some things, or you in behind here there's also a chat window. The chat window is up here where you see the little person on the right hand side of the menu bar at the very top of your Bridget screen, and you can open that up and there's a little chat window that opens up, and you can type in a question if you have one as well. So I will be around for a few more minutes to answer any questions you might have. I've used comic strip creators for a little bit with classrooms. I haven't in the last year or two, but for me, I think it's something that really engages kids. I remember a project that we did in science where the students were actually creating comic strips to explain the science behind earthquakes. So they had kids falling down and doing all kinds of different things, and it was a lot of fun for them. That they got to share those online with classmates and parents, and give them that audience so to connect through. Yeah, I will have a wonderful trip. Thanks, Candy and Lawrence. And we will see you guys all on Tuesday after March break for the next Tech 20 Tuesday. As I said, I'll be around if you have any questions.